Welcome to a new episode of the Cool Girls Create podcast, and this is a very special episode. As you can see, we look a little bit different. It's your girl T Westbrook, and I am here with a special guest, my friend, Nichole Nunn.
Ooh, hey! The sound effects are good. The gunshots.
Yay! Okay, so if you don't know, Cool Girls Create podcast is a safe place for women like us to have introspective, self-reflecting conversations. It's going to be laid back, and today we're going to be talking about perseverance. We're going to be talking about creativity and how, as creators, we've been able to monetize the things that we're passionate about. So let's get into it. All right, so Nichole is one of my good friends, but also she is the founder of Flash Me Experience, which is a selfie studio. Mm-hmm. So before we get into all of that, let's start with just telling the audience a little bit about who you are and where you come from. Where you from, girl?
Okay. So, hey guys, as she said, I'm Nichole Nunn. I'm a Nashville native for sure. The only girl, the oldest of three. Definitely was a little rough around the corner. I always wanted to be the boss and an innovator of new things.
Yeah. Okay. So, how did you get into design? So you and I met, I actually don't remember. Oh,
I do.
You and I met at an event. It was a sneaker ball.
Yeah.
And you walked up to me and was like, I don't know who you are, but me and you are going to be friends.
Absolutely.
And I was like, yes, we are.
Yes.
And I believe, why were you there?
So for that one, my daughter was actually performing at that creative ball, and the owner of that ball, I think her name is Charmin.
Mm-hmm,
Charmin, love her super sweet spirit. She had just left Flash Me. She had saw Flash Me for the first time. We were talking about some different things. It was a little too late to be a part of like the sponsorship packet, but she still wanted me to come out and meet other creatives, other dope, amazing entrepreneurs like you, and it was a great networking experience for me, for sure.
Yeah, I remember having a good time. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about your background when it comes to design.
Okay.
So how did you start Flash Me? Why did you start Flash Me? Tell the cool girls a little bit about that experience.
Okay, so for me, worked in corporate America for 21 years, was suddenly laid off around the pandemic time frame. It was a big shock to my life because I've been working since I graduated from Tennessee State University. So for me, I was climbing the corporate ladder. So when I got laid off, it was just a shock to my whole system. And I swore I would never go back to that environment. I would never actually give a company that much energy for them to decide to just suddenly lay someone off. And it was amazing because I just finished laying off my team, never knowing that I would be next. From that, I decided to embark upon those things that just truly made my heart happy, and that's how I fell into design. I never thought it could be a tangible job to where I could make lots of money because, it's not something that my family looked at as a real job. Like, you want to play with flowers, you want to put bright colors on things, you want to, throw sticks together. It wasn't something that my family looked at as a job, so I never pursued it because, I always wanted those things that would make my family proud. So when the layoff took place, I was like, okay, this is my time. This is my time to put it all on the line, to give it what I have, and to just let my creative ability shine. So that's when I created Flash Me.
Yeah, and I think Flash Me was such a dope concept. Mm-hmm. So explain to our audience what Flash Me Experience was from your perspective.
Okay. So from my perspective, a lot of people tried to box us in by saying we were a selfie studio, but it was so much more than that. It was a place where people could come and feel creatively free. So whether you were an artist and you wanted to display your rap video, or you were someone who, just got a divorce and you wanted those self-confidence pictures, it was a place where you could come, feel free, feel creative, feel like you are an innovator in this space, and take ownership part. I wanted a place where people can come and feel free, and that's what Flash Me was for the North Nashville neighborhood and for the Nashvillians all together. So that's what Flash Me was. It was a house for that.
Yeah, and I remember just having bomb experiences.
Right.
Like, I feel like we bonded there.
Absolutely.
There. You were one of the first people that were like, come on, design a room.
Right.
So it really was a place for me as well that's like near and dear to my heart. So this is a good place to transition and talk about perseverance. So you are rolling along, you left corporate America, and now you're like, you have Flash Me, and Flash Me is your baby.
Right.
Can you talk about what happened with Flash Me and the challenges that came from that and how you overcame it?
Absolutely. So as I said, I was laid off during the pandemic time frame. So, you know, the economy was a little crazy. It was a little shaky. So being that I didn't have my corporate job and I was embarking upon this journey of having like a storefront, you know, without knowing how to have a business, knowing how if a creative business could even work. So it was a lot of financial hardships for sure, but I was dedicated. I feel like for me, I needed a place to be free. For me, the city needed some place that was unique, that didn't have those boundaries or those boxes that a lot of places try to put people in. So that was very important, and it was very important for me to persevere through not knowing how I was going to pay the rent for, you know, the layout, not knowing, you know, if this could really work. It was important for me to persevere through that just so I can let my soul shine and do what I felt like my heart was calling me to do. So that's why I stuck it out. Unfortunately, I think it was 2022, Flash Me caught on fire in November. So that was a very difficult thing for me to persevere the 2 years to have it open. You know, had a big anniversary party, and then maybe a couple months after that, it caught on fire tragically. So it was a very difficult time, but a lot of times one door closes so another door can open, and you got to trust the plan. You got to trust that God has something bigger for your life. You have to trust that your life is bigger than what you see and what you're going through, because your life is a testament for other people that may be going through the same thing as you are, so they can see that and so they can persevere.
Yeah. I'm trying not to get emotional because I understand your pain.
Yeah.
I understand what it's like to pour your heart into something as a creator.
Right.
And you know, a lot of people they might not necessarily relate to what it is to be a creator.
Right.
So, as someone, I opened a studio myself a little while back, and it flooded.
Yeah.
And I can't, till this day, I still can't look at the picture.
Right.
I can't even talk about it.
Right.
And so I can imagine how you felt to see everything in flames.
Yeah. For me, you know, most people that are victims of fire, they don't even have, they don't actually see it. But for me, God had me in a unique situation to where I pulled up when the neighbors saw smoke. So before it even fully was engulfed in flames, I was able to see the whole process before the fire company came. And you know, standing there, a part of me wanted to run in and like a mother and rescue the space, rescue those things that were near and dear to me. But instead, God just had me be still. And it was kind of like one of those things like, do you trust me? Although I didn't know what was going to be next, I was unsure if I could even do another Flash Me, because it took 11 months for me to even build the first Flash Me. But in that moment, I was still, and I was like, whatever it is, I don't know what's going to be next, but I trust you because you never let me down. Like, I think about those times, like, has God let me down in this situation or in the next? And he's never let me down. So in that moment, just watching it go up in flames, I had to make a strong decision that I was going to trust God with my life plan, with my creative ability, no matter what. Mm-hmm. And that, you know, that's what it was. It was definitely hurtful, but I had to immediately get in action. You know, you have the news crews, the police department, the fire department, and I still had to stand strong on what I believed in. Flash Me is a place where people can come and be free. I do know that I will have another creative outlet again to where people are able to come and not not be held down by boxes or constraints of who you should be or what you should be doing. That's what Flash Me is. The only limits that we have are the limits that we put on ourselves. So for me, I just understood that now it was time for me to take Flash Me without walls until I could actually have a brick and mortar to do something like that and have another staple piece for the Nashville natives again.
Yeah. And I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Come to fruition.
Yeah.
Have Flash Me's all over the world.
Yes, that's exactly how I did too.
So let's talk about something that I don't think a lot of people address when it comes to entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So it's unique for you because you've been through being laid off.
Yeah.
You've been through starting a business and then seeing your business literally go up in smoke. So, and for me as an entrepreneur, I've had plenty of dark times where, you know, how are we going to pay the bills?
Yes.
Or how are we going to figure out how to scale the business? How are we going to deal with these customers who might be angry about this? Or how are we going to make it through to the next event?
Right.
And so when it comes to being in that place where you don't necessarily know what you're going to do, what was that like for you? Like, what were you experiencing and how did you start to climb out of it?
Oh, girl, what was I experiencing? Everything. What could I have done differently? Am I good enough to do it again? Is the mission of providing creative freedom and showing people to pursue their creative freedom, does that even mean anything? Is this thing called faith really real? Do I need to really just take one step at a time to make this happen? Like a plethora of things. Like I feel like that was one of the darkest moments in my life because I didn't know where to start. When you're an entrepreneur, you have your own business front. A lot of times things are tight. A lot of times you are borrowing from one bucket to make sure the next bucket is paid. So if you're already in that situation and then everything catches up, burns to fire, what do you do? So that was really me. I had to really do a gut check. Do I believe in the things that I'm telling people? Do I believe that your gift makes room for you? Do I believe that you can let your soul shine? Do I believe that you can really live out your creative ability? And I had to really do a gut check on that. Did I believe those things or was I just flogging to the people who were supporting me? So I had to really get in tune with myself and I had to really practice those things that I told other people were possible. So dust yourself out, think positive, feed yourself good positive energy, surround yourself around those things that just make your heart smile. I had to really take those steps to get back and put one foot in front of the other and know that whatever the next step was, that it was a bigger plan for God's destiny that he had for my life. So that's what I had to do to really turn things around. And from there, door one started opening, door two started opening, and here I am today. I did not die. I did not die.
Did you die?
I did not die. You feel me? So I'm still here, so I know that it's proof in the pudding and your gift does make room for you. And when you have your mind in the positive space, the doors will open that are meant to be open in your life.
Yeah.
Like, period.
I agree. So to follow up with what you're saying, I definitely agree with you on getting back to like a positive space.
Right.
A lot of times it's difficult to do that, especially if you don't have a support system around you.
Right.
But I'm like, I got to find a way to go inside and pull it up.
Yeah.
Whether that's listening to music or like you said, surrounding myself with things that make my heart smile.
Yeah.
So, I think that's good advice.
Yeah.
So now, going back to your journey, so now we're in this space where the doors are opening for you.
Right.
Let's switch gears and just talk about monetizing your creativity because Flash Me Experience was one way to monetize your creativity, but then you moved into more of a design space. So just share with our audience how you transitioned into a different part of your career.
Oh man, that's amazing. So, and that's why I say each step is important and pivotal for the next step. So don't disregard the steps that you have to take in your life. from Flash Me, the owner of my next project had visited the Flash Me space and said, hey, you know, if I ever I'm thinking about opening a restaurant. If I ever have a restaurant, I would love for you to give me something unique like you have in Flash Me in my restaurant. You know, people always say things, you know, it sounds good, but 1 year later, that same guy reached out to me, who is now one of my clients, and is one of the most immersive popping things that we have going on in Nashville, which is through the restaurant Soul. So that's how I actually connected with the owners of Soul, and that's how I actually got the job to be able to monetize my creative ability by designing their restaurant chains that is quickly going across the Middle Tennessee area.
Yeah, so when it comes to design, and in this space, you are going from sole designer, when I say sole, like singular, to now you're managing a team, you have to communicate your vision.
Right.
Are there any things that you've learned along the way that you think would be helpful for our audience?
Absolutely. One of the biggest things is always trust your gut. Nobody can tell you what your vision is because they don't see it. Your vision is your vision. Your vision is that thing that keeps you up late at night, that tugs at your gut, that tells you you need to go left when you may want to go right. That is the thing. So trust that and believe in that. So with managing the team, you know, I have to remember when they're questioning or when they may be oppositional about what I'm setting in place as far as what the goals are for the establishment for my creative gift. I say no, because I understand the vision is here. I understand the motion that I want to make as far as inspiring and being able to motivate this through the dining experience came here. So don't expect for those people to understand. If you know it's burning fire in your stomach for you to do something, stand on that. Big motion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
Big motion.
Yeah. So now you're in the design space.
Right.
And you're in a different part of your career.
Right.
That I think requires like leadership skills and things like that. If you could talk to the younger you in her 20s.
Oh, girl. Okay.
What would you say to her?
What would I say? What would I tell her? You are enough. And your greatest value is what you place on yourself.
That's so good.
You are enough. Like your ideas are enough. Your desires are enough. The money that you want to have for whatever you feel like your rates are, you are enough. And when you place that value on yourself, that's what it is.
I agree. If I could go back and talk to my younger self, I would say the same thing, but also add that your self-worth is not tied to what you accomplish or don't accomplish. And because I remember 10 years ago, I was just in a space of, I have to be successful. I have to be an example. I have to do this. I have to beat the statistics. And it's like, if that's the only thing that's driving you, you will never be fulfilled.
Absolutely.
Because there's always another something to do. And so I would say, realize that your self-worth is not tied to accomplishments and any of those things that are superficial. And I would also say, boundaries.
That's a good one.
One word.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I would say learn how to enforce those as soon as you can. And I think that would have been life-changing for me earlier.
And I would say learn how to enforce those. Some people don't even know how to establish boundaries for themselves or for others, you know, because a lot of people don't understand that they're enough, and a lot of people don't understand to stand on what they mean. So those things are difficult, especially for women and for men to understand and to really stand on those powerful values that can help them in life situations. I agree. And you made me think of one more thing. Because I didn't start so I really have focused on like professional development and personal development. So for professional development, just like
volunteering more, being more visible in the community,
Right.
Learning how to lead, those types of things, and then personally, like doing self-work,
Yeah.
addressing my trauma,
Yes.
instead of like looking at other people and being a victim,
Right.
really getting down to the root of why I look at the world the way that I do,
Right.
and then empowering myself.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's something that I've just recently started to do in my early 30s.
Right.
But I would say to anybody that's younger that's watching this, like,
Right.
do the work.
Right.
Because nobody's
right.
going to save you.
Right. Save yourself,
Yes.
for sure. And a lot of people don't really take the time that's necessary to like just dig within. Like that makes me feel this type of way because I don't like this, or that makes me feel that type of way because it reminds me of how my mama treated me. You know, anything like that. Just be real with yourself.
Yes.
A lot of times we're scared of those ugly truths that really help us grow and to really fertilize whatever it is that we're trying to do next. You know, a lot of times we hate those fertilizer type of experiences, but really they're the best things that catapult us into the next level in life.
Yeah, I love that you framed it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the perfect time to just talk about the future.
Okay.
So what's next for Nichole?
Oh my gosh, what's next for Nichole is Flower Child Designs. From the spinoff of Flash Me and designing the chain of restaurants with soul, I know that design is what makes my heart sing. And I know that being able to inspire and motivate just through the unique designs that I provide as a service, I know it's time for me to bless the world with that. Bless the world with those epic experiences. A lot of people are trying to celebrate and capture those really dope moments, whether it's in their business, with photo booth walls, or if it's at their weddings. I want to be able to bring and create that energy that's like, man, that was a good day. Man, I remember we captured that moment on that dope flower wall. So Flower Wall Designs is coming soon. It's going to be global, so y'all just get ready.
I am so excited for you. It's going to be fun. And I'm ready to just have you sprinkle a little bit of Nichole energy and all of the projects that
So
you
ready,
touch.
so ready. It's going down.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's get into the quick fire round.
Ready.
So I'm going to ask you 3 questions.
Okay.
And don't be doing no deep dive.
No.
You just got to go quick.
I got you. Okay.
So the first question.
Ready.
Dream vacation place.
Ooh, Bora Bora.
Bora Bora.
Bora Bora.
Okay. 3 things on your bucket list.
3 things on my bucket list: hot air balloon, designing at least 4 hotels is on my bucket list. That's fun to me.
Yes.
And then being able to have an international immersive experience designed by Flower Child Designs.
I love it. Okay,
Yeah.
last question.
Okay.
When you are taking a break from work,
Yes.
what is your favorite go-to snack?
Anything with chocolate and nuts, that's gonna be my thing. Chocolate and
Do you
nuts.
like chocolate covered almonds?
I do love chocolate covered
my
almonds.
God.
And it's my safe food because almonds are healthy for you. So I'm like semi-cheating, not all the way cheating.
Tell yourself that, girl. It's okay, because I love chocolate covered.
Yeah, that's my thing. That is my thing. So that's my go-to.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
We are closing out this conversation.
Yes.
I've had a good time chatting with you.
Me too. I love chatting with you. Okay.
Okay, so let's close out and talk to the cool girls directly. Leave us with a final word of advice that will help creators and entrepreneurs just take things to the next level.
Okay. Your gift makes room for you, creative community. Your gift makes room for you. If you know with your whole heart that whatever God has blessed you to be in your spirit, be that. Whatever that is, if it's the greatest DJ, the greatest model, whatever makes your heart want to explore and makes you want to do more, do that. Because take the anxiety of wondering how this is going to be, how am I going to get paid? Just know that your gift makes room for you. If you know that one thing like, oh, I want to be a new designer, your gift makes room for you. So the design firm, that's nothing. The clients, that's nothing. The figuring out the price, that's nothing, because your gift makes room for you. So if you know that one simple statement, the sky was never meant to be the limit. That's it.
I know that's right.
Yeah. So that's all I got.
So we're closing out with the. Hold on. Let me just let them go ahead. So, thank you for that final word. Again, it's been a pleasure chatting with you today. If you are a cool girl and you are creative, this is definitely an episode that you probably need to play back again, because we got really real when it comes to what it's like to be a creator and an entrepreneur. So I just want to thank you again for joining me. And T. Westbrook,
Nichole Nunn, baby.
signing out.
And Flower Cow Designs.
Do we do it?